The old man proudly rolled out foam paper, excited to wait for the girl to come. Just a small bag of rice. Anyone can be his partner. But the girl, because of the delicate body, caught the attention of a fool. He also had wild dreams about girls. The fool followed the girl all the way to the entrance of the alley. The girl suddenly started shouting, but the fool is not afraid and still follows closely behind. The girl had to hide in the alley. Fools afraid of the dark dare not continue to follow had to turn and leave. Who knows, a stone flew out of it. Almost hit a fool. The fool was so scared that he ran home. Who knows, the next morning the girl's body was found on the roof, and in a very weird posture. This is the most prominent spot in the village, so the police got here quickly. They tracked ping pong balls that were left at the scene. It didn't take long to find the suspect for questioning, because it has his name on it. The policeman couldn't help laughing at the fool for being so stupid, leaving something like that on purpose. They took out a confession they had written, in front of a fool. The neighbors knew he was a fool, though not a good one, but he would never do anything to kill someone, and he's trying to persuade a fool. I didn't think a fool would argue.
나 읽어요. 그래, 저기 뭐.
Clearly can't read, but the fool looked at the confession with a straight face, pretend to double-check and finally sign. That's how fools get thrown in jail. Mother came to visit as soon as she heard. Ask him why he killed. I didn't think a fool would do the opposite. I want a soy milk machine. The son was wrongly accused. The mother had an idea and ran into a neighbor's car. He wanted to save his son and begged the neighbors to do something, but the neighbor said the fool confessed and it was too late. But mother wouldn't give up, still trying to find proof of his son's innocence. That day the police restored the incident. The fool was brought before the house. When you didn't do anything, but at their behest. Grab a rock and break the neck. The crowd gasped. And fools know nothing. He took off his face mask in the crowd. Say hello to your friends like crazy. Now everyone can see his face. In order to redeem the situation, mother had to distribute leaflets everywhere, fighting for his son's innocence. He came to the girl's house, only to find the family in the middle of a funeral. Mother tried to force a smile, admitting that his son was wronged, but they were indiscriminate. Just corral the mother. The mother would not give up even though she was wronged. He took out the mirror and delicately put on lipstick. He's gonna find a way to save his son, no matter what. He drugged his son to improve his fertility. But my son's brain is bad and he often forgets to take his medicine. The woman followed with the medicine. Even if my son is peeing, he has to put the tonic in, too. I didn't get to wait for my son to have a family, only to find out he's in jail for murder. Mother ran around telling people, looking for evidence of his son's innocence. He sells sex, trying to enlist the help of the best lawyer in town. But the lawyer just met the fool's son. I decided to head home, because the fool said he killed him. The mother could do nothing, but he was not willing to give up. Only to find a lawyer again. He dosed himself with hard liquor. Hopefully a lawyer can help them. But the lawyer said something like a fool. 4 years, tops. There's no need to bother. But how could he know a mother's heart? A woman has no choice but to take all your savings and go to the mob. After the man's advice, the mother began to investigate the girl. He came to the girl's school. It took just a few lollipops to discover a big secret. A girl grew up with a grandmother who drank too much to buy him alcohol. Girls start abusing themselves very early. Just use a bag of rice. It's easy to get a chance with a girl. He's only had more than 100 boyfriends like that, and every man he's ever had a relationship with will be secretly photographed. It dawned on the mother as soon as she found the phone. Maybe we can find the killer. The mother sneaked into the girl's house in the middle of the night. Only a few dollars. I got the phone from grandma that saved my life. Flipping through the photo album inside, my mother was shocked. It's all just filthy images. Looks like there's a lot of mystery around this girl's death. Mother hurried to the prison. Show your son all the photos on your phone. Ask him if he remembers. One photo after another, and the fool finally had a reaction. It was dark that night, but the fool dimly saw the old man's face. Maybe he's the real killer. He took off his clothes to make out with his girlfriend. I didn't know there was a woman in the closet until two people tired to sleep. He just slipped out of the closet. I tried to sneak away, but I kicked over the bottle. See the water everywhere, soon to touch a man's fingertips. He frowned slightly but is not awake. The woman hurried out the door. He had a club in his hand. It's more important than his life, because of the blood on it is the key to proving our son's innocence. But the woman hurried to the police station. Turns out it wasn't blood at all. It was a girl who accidentally rubbed lipstick while singing. We thought they were the real killers. It turned out to be an own mistake. Still unable to save his son, a girl was brutally murdered. The foolish son was put in prison as a murderer. Thank God the woman found the victim's phone, only to find out the real suspect. It was an old scavenger from the town. Mother, posing as acupuncture volunteer, came to the old man's home. A cliché on purpose or not. Maybe it's because you're the same age. Not only is the old man not hiding anything, instead confessed to the horrors he recently witnessed. The girl he was dating that night was already laid out. I noticed a strange noise coming from outside. He peeked at the window and saw the girl coming, followed by fools. Girls scold fools for their dirty mouths. At last the girl hid, and hit fools with rocks. The fool wanted to leave, but he remembered what his mother had said about being bullied. Make sure you call back. So the fool picked up the stone and hit it hard. I just happened to break the girl's neck. Scared to run away and stand there tangled for a long time. Finally, he dragged the girl up the stairs by her legs, set him on the balcony. The mother could listen no longer. He couldn't believe his son was capable of murder. But the old man was sure. And put your hands on your temples, doing what fools do. That's when he called the police. Being a witness to a fool's crime, mother had been dumbfounded, but he acted quickly to save his son. Picked up a wrench and knocked the Mother set a fire and covered it all up. From that day on, he stopped helping his son solve the case. And no more visits in prison. The whole person also has no fighting spirit. But then the police came knocking, claimed his son was coming home, because the real killer has been found. Mother suddenly froze in place, do not know what to say. He didn't rush to pick up his son. I went to see the alleged killer. I didn't know he was a fool. He's the one who's been wronged. And how could mother say no? Export heart inexplicable entanglement. Finally can only turn into tears. The fool was soon set free. Mother lost her old smile. I'm gonna take my son out of here forever. But near the time of departure, a fool pulls out an acupuncture box. My mother froze when she saw this. When did the stupid son pick it up? He was burned black. He's constantly reminding his mother that he killed someone. The mother could no longer control herself. He walked out in a blur. On a bus to nowhere. He sat there quietly while everyone around him sang and danced. Quietly took out a needle and stuck it into his thigh. Legend has it that this acupoint can make people forget all their troubles. All he wanted was his son's innocence, only to find out he's the killer. And he's got a life on his hands. Mother's love is the softest and mother's love the worst. His mother protected him but tied herself tightly.